This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this Starcraft travel trailer, and the model number is 177BH. BH for bunkhouse. This is a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? So you've got regular crank down scissor type stabilizers, okay? Your low point drains are right here. You can see there's two of them, hot and cold. Then you have a power awning. Okay, that's power, just 120 AC. Your dump hose kit, plus a reducer to reduce your short cord down to a 20 amp if you need to do that. Okay, your crank is in there. Deep cycle marine battery, LP tank full. You have a crank type tongue jack on it. Your water hookup is right here. This is this one here will fill your fresh water tank. So you have two possible ways. You have the city water hookup, which is the most common. I'll show you that in a minute. You just hook the city water up and you're all set. If you're camping someplace that doesn't have city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here, and then you can use the onboard pump to pump the water. So I'll show you where the pump switch is and talk to you more about that when we get to the inside. But basically, if you have city water, you don't have to worry about the fresh water tank or the pump, but if you don't have city water, you can always do it this way and you still have plumbing that works. Okay, so your 30 amp short cord right here. Here we have your valves. The gray valve is sink and shower water. The black valve is toilet water and waste, of course. And your dump hose hooks right onto there. Campground cable in right here. This is your water heater. The switch to control it, they're inside. So I'll show you the switch when we get inside, but you can see the main thing to know is that is the drain right there. Takes an 1 1/16 6-point socket, so that's where you drain it. Never run the water heater without water in it either, so that's also important to make sure you have water in it before you turn it on, okay? Yeah, this is the city water hookup here we just talked about. That's the most common way to get water to the trailer. You just hook the hose onto there, turn it on, and you're all set. This housing shows this is pre-wired for a Furrion backup camera kit, so if you're interested in getting a backup camera kit, it's pre-wired. So we do sell them here. You can get them elsewhere. Just make sure you get the proper kit that fits in that housing. That's a hookup for a Lippert telescoping ladder that can be purchased. It's just got the hookup on it, but the ladder is an option. Okay, so if you wanted to get that option, you can get that. One of the reasons you might do that is because it makes it easy to inspect the roof. The manufacturer states every 90 days the roof should be inspected. So you want someone to take a look up there. Look for any possible damage caused by low branches or road debris. You're going to look at any of the sealant separating or cracking, so where water could get through. Anything like that, you just want to check out. You can't see what's happening up there unless you look, so it's important every 90 days to check it out to make sure you don't have any issues, okay? Alrighty, so let's go inside here. Okay. First thing we see way up here is your switches. So here you have your water pump here. Remember, we use the water pump to pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. And you can light your water heater on gas, run it on electric. Most people run it on electric while they're camping. And if they're going to use a shower or something where they need a boost of water, they kick on the gas burner to it's not on demand, but you get a much faster recovery. Okay, and then your levels, your batteries charge, fresh water, gray water, black water. It graduates up in 1/3 increments. Switch here and here. This is your power awning switch here, so it's that simple. Just don't leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, make sure you roll it in so it doesn't get damaged by the wind. Okay. This here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. It should be glowing green. If not, get it serviced. Okay, it's very important. Don't never just ignore it. Okay. Your keys are hanging here. This is a GFCI plug. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI. So even if you see like this one here, which is a regular duplex plug, it's still wired through this GFCI. They all are. So they're all protected. If you're using that one and you lose power in it, you're gonna, first thing you think when you lose power at a receptacle is check the GFCI. So keep that in mind. Okay, your cooktop, you just light it with a lighter. It's very simple. Just get a grill lighter. Your microwave works like any other microwave. Your refrigerator is a 12-volt DC refrigerator. You just should always strap it shut so the door doesn't fling open and get dented while you're traveling. This down here, this is your LP furnace down here. So this is your thermostat for the furnace. So all the way to the left is off. You want to hear it click when you push it to the left. You want to hear that clicking sound to make sure it's off. When you click it to the right, it'll start up. Select the temperature you want, obviously, but when you shut it off, you'll push it all the way until you hear that click on the click towards the left. When you hear that, the flame goes out immediately, but the unit will still cycle through, so it can run for a minute or two after you shut it off. The flame is out, but it's still just continuing its cycle, so keep that in mind. That's normal. It lights automatically. It makes 3 attempts to light. It always lights within the first. It always lights the first try, but if for some reason it doesn't, all you have to do is click it to the left again. Click it to the left, wait a few seconds, and click it back over to the right, and it'll start the lighting cycle again. So it'll make 3 more attempts, but it always, you should never have to do that. It always lights. Okay. Okay. To access your water pump and the back of your water heater, it's under this panel here. You just remove the screws. Those are number 2 square-headed screws, so you just remove them and you'll be able to see all that, the place where you winterize and that sort of thing. Okay. That is smoke detector, of course. The controls for your air conditioner are on the unit. So this is the thermostat, and this is fan speeds over here, and then air conditioning speeds over here. If the fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor, it just circulates air. And then when you go over to this side here, that's full air conditioning. Okay. You can drop this table top down onto the cleats here. You can see those plastic cleats, 2 on each bench. You set them down there. You can turn this into a bed, so another place for people to sleep. These are where your TV hooks up here. Keep in mind, see, there's no LED on, but when I push this button, the red LED starts up or turns on. That tells you the digital antenna is turned on. So if you're using the antenna and you got to hook to a TV, which is hanging here, you always want that glowing red to tell you that the antenna is turned on. There's a backer plate back here, so you can hook a bracket. If you're going to put a bracket, it's up to you, but I always say spend a little more money. And if you were to go to Amazon, for example, you look up RV TV brackets. The main difference is they have a wider base on them, so it's more firmly attached to the wall because the screws are spaced out farther, and get one that has a lock on it, so it locks into place when you're stowing it. You don't want it flailing around while you're driving down the road. So if you get the RV type, it'll have those features. If not, if you just get a regular one, you have to get a strap and put the strap on it so it doesn't flail around while you're driving. It's similar to this thing right here. Matter of fact, the latch itself is almost identical, or is identical. So keep that in mind. You have your charging ports, of course. You have some storage under here, I believe. Let me look to see. Yep. So you have storage underneath here. Just goes to the front storage. Okay. This is your power converter right here. So this converts AC to DC power. So it'll auto detect what kind of battery you have, so you don't have to worry about that if you were to change over to lithium battery or gel battery or something like that. Right now it has a deep cycle marine wet battery. But this converts AC to DC. So on this side you have regular 120 AC circuit breakers like you see at home, and they're all labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here. So you've got 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled. Okay. So that's where the 12 volt comes from. This is also a battery charger, so it'll sense how much energy your battery, as long as you're plugged into shore power, it's going to sense how much energy your battery up on the tongue has and needs, and it'll send as many amps necessary to keep it charged. When you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle will, the alternator on your tow vehicle will charge the battery also. Okay? That's the power converter. Converts AC to DC and charges your battery. Alright, so we move forward here, or rearward. Shower works like any other shower, as you can see. The toilet has to have chemical and water in it when you start off with it. So if the toilet has been, or the black tank, which is your toilet water waste, if your black tank has been dumped, meaning it's empty, so when you, let's say you left the campground, previous campground, you dumped it when you left, like you should. So when you get to the next one and you're going to use this again, you want to dump a dose of chemical right into the bowl, and then you want to push the pedal down and hold it till at least a gallon of water goes into the tank below along with the chemical. You can use more than a gallon, don't use less. Most people use more is better. So keep that in mind. If you don't do that, it'll without the chemical and water, it'll get clogged up, it'll smell terrible, it'll just be a mess. So never forget to do that. That's very important. Okay. Okay, so let me look and see if I forgot anything here. I think we've pretty much covered it. Let me look around. This is your packet of literature here. This is, I don't know what that's for. That came with the trailer. That, who knows? I don't know what that was for. Storage, and there'll be storage under the seats also, at least one of them. Sometimes it's just one, or it could be both, but there's always at least one. Also, one thing to know when it comes to your blinds, eventually these loosen up a bit and they'll start coming down on their own when you're in transit or just sitting there. If that happens, you tighten this up, either one of these up, not a super lot, just go a little bit, quarter inch or so. The tighter these are, the harder it is to move this up and down. So you don't want to damage it by making them super tight, but if you can just shorten this a little bit, you just have to do one side and it'll stiffen up and it won't be sliding down on you. So keep that in mind. It's a very easy fix if you're out somewhere in the Grand Canyon or something. You know, it's a simple fix to make. Okay. Alrighty. This is the emergency window. It works like they all do. If you have kids or grandkids, show them how it works. Just push it all the way through, of course, all the way through. Then you're going to grab a hold of this red tab and pull the screen out, and you can escape during an emergency. Okay? Make sure you show any kids, like I said, how to work it. So I think that covers it then. So obviously your fire extinguisher. So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days. That's important. You don't have to go up there. You can, but you don't have to go up there. You can just move a ladder, you know, from corner to corner and take a look at it. You just want to make sure everything's in good shape up there, so you don't, you know, get water inside your trailer and get all the related problems. So you're just protecting yourself and your trailer. So also this is the water system's in camping mode now. All the antifreeze has been purged from the system and replaced with fresh water. The water heater valves are in camping mode, and you're all set, ready to go for that when it comes to the water. Okay. Other than that, we'll see you when you pick up, and we'll answer all your questions and get you on your way. Okay. Thank you.